Hi guys, Carcer back again with some more games of Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2, and we've got something a little bit different this time. Yes, it is the return of 2v2. This is a game mode I've not played in a very long time, and so it should be kind of interesting. How do we necro of popularity? It's flared up like herpes once again. So in this first game, I'm going to be teaming up with Professor Pipes. Professor Pipes is going to be taking Chaos, and we are up against Plushanubka and Solaire, who will be flying Startes and Necrons. So it's cool to see these guys back in game again. I know Plushanubka was just furiously downloading the game minutes before this match took place, and I'm sure nobody's happier to be back in 2v2 than Solaire. So we just got to the fleet I've taken. It's just a variation on my usual 1v1 fleet. So we'll be taking 3 hammers, 2 terrors, and then 6 onslaughts for the escorts. Plan is I'm just going to use the escorts to run around cap points, and then the bulk of the fleet's going to sneak on up the right hand side of the map and try and flank the enemy, while hopefully Professor Pipes provides a distraction down at the bottom of the map near to our deployment zone. So the fleet I've got on isn't ideal for either Astartes or for Necrons. Ideally you want something with a little bit more firepower, maybe some battleships, but we'll see how we get on. So we've got some early beacons going off. Don't want to use my fighters for scouting yet, as that'll give away the position of my ships. I'm just going to start moving up the map with the escorts. One, two, three, four. Yeah, 5 points. Okay. So we should be able to get these 2 points closest to our deployment zone fairly easily. Enemy's going to do the same with theirs, and then there's that 1 point in the center, which will probably be where the action is going to be happening.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
So we've got a bunch of escorts from Solaire. Not quite sure what. No, sorry, a bunch of what Plushie's gone for, although I suspect it's going to be double barge. So we're just going to keep on creeping. Now, although the enemy doesn't really have any long-range firepower to trade shots with my allies' Chaos ships, he has taken the double Scourge Necron build, which has some fairly deadly aircraft, and it looks like this particular Chaos fleet doesn't have any hangar bays at all.
You have seized a strategic area.
So kind of feel bad about not sending mine in as yet, but I think getting the drop on the enemy is probably more important. So Necron escorts, that's one of the few things that can go toe to toe with Orc escorts. It's thanks to their all-round armour, kind of unusually they move, and extremely accurate weaponry. They can certainly give the onslaughts a run for their money. Yep, double barge. And it's the lance variant. Okay. So no boarding torpedoes at least, that's good. So huge damage being taken by one of my allies' ships already. But we're just about ready to spring our ambush. Just going to see if we can catch the enemy flagship. Down go the shields. Just going to see if we can do a wee drive-by on this guy. Get some boarding actions off. So we managed to get a good 24 boarding actions off on the enemy flagship, well, the Space Marine flagship. My ally is just kind of hanging out in the gas cloud. I was hoping he would get a little bit more involved. Because if I've got both of these guys wailing on me, my ships are going to go down pretty quickly, especially since I don't have any battleships to kind of prop them up. Terrors in particular are going to take a lot of critical damage. Okay, here it comes now. Bit of a messy fight. There goes my flagship, which does trigger a mass mutiny amongst the rest of my fleet. Plus you almost caught some friendly fire from the Necron, that thing's called, the little electric orb doodah. So even with all that troop damage, the Plushy's battle barge flagship is still on yellow crew. But those extra 7 boarding actions put on should take him down to red. Pop another critical damage to him. So certainly doing some decent damage to the enemy fleet. My ally seems to be in pretty good shape. I'm in pretty much all of my ships now. One of my cruisers is showing that I can execute on the bar on the right, but it looks like it's just mutinied. So all I've really got left is one terror. No, sorry, make that one hammer, which I'm just going to try and use to finish off this battle barge, which we do. Good stuff. And then 4 escorts. Put 2 down here. We'll see if we can start chipping away at these Necron escorts. The Necron escorts are, it looks like they're the larger ones. The God, what are they called? Is it jackals or? Can never remember which one's which. But they're reasonably expensive. Certainly comparatively much more expensive than mine. So we'll just see if we can start chipping away at them. Grab a few extra points. There's not much difference in the points at the moment, although they are sitting on 3 capture points to our 2. So even without all the ship losses, then they are going to be pulling ahead quite significantly if you don't do something about that. Now the Space Marine flagship is on very low HP, and he's down to basically no crew. and super low HP on the Necron flagship as well. So if you can actually get a ram there, I didn't quite get it. That's fine. We'll just we'll send our escorts in. Start doing a bit of shipping. My ally's flagship also is down.
The enemy has accumulated 50% of strategic points.
Here we go.
It's a bit of an annoyance. You can't get Space Marine ships to break. It's just linger around indefinitely. And it's not easy to break Necron ships either, although once they're broken, which is good. Can't really be rallied back. He's just on the last tiny little sliver of health, this battle barge. So one more volley ought to do it. But the ship mutinies before he gets the shot off. Brilliant. Okay, so I really need to get my escorts involved now. Oh, okay, there he goes, he's dead. I think it maybe got killed by a fire. So, I've got one solitary hammer left, who is horribly crippled. Looks like his deck and engine are both gone, which is, any one of those is enough to make an orc ship a very sad thing. So, we're chipping down this one Necron escort, but it's not super effective. Oh. So if he can blow his ship up, hopefully Slayer hasn't noticed that's happening. Maybe take out a couple of these escorts? And he does! Fantastic. Okay, so there goes two of those. And the remaining one's fleeing. So that just leaves this single Scourge. But yeah, that Scourge will be plenty to deal with the 4 ships here. Hiding from him is not really an option because he will have the all his doom scythes to play with. So you can just send him into scouting clouds. He isn't a red engine though, which is good. We're now sitting on 3 points to 2. I just can't quite get the boarding action off. That's a shame.
You have accumulated 75% of strategic points.
So, I mean, the best thing I can hope for here really is, well, if the last crew dies on the hammer there, then I will be able to recrew him, and then maybe get a boarding action off and just try and force the mutiny. But I re-mutiny again because there's too many fires on, which is a shame. Kind of screw up my control there, and they're both now spotted. Now I think there was a possibility I could have gotten away with that if I'd kited away a bit better, and just managed to not get spotted. Because he has got permanent red engines, obviously there's no flagship now to provide pyramidal reconstruction, then potentially, I mean I couldn't have chipped down his hit points, but I could potentially have chipped down his morale to the point where he could have run. But it's too late now. Got the doom scythe on me. And that's game. That was a fun game. Nice and close. Okay, and now we're on to the next one. This time teaming up with Professor Pipes again, and we're going to be up against the Meme Team and Dark Assassin. Meme Team is taking Imperial Navy, Dark Assassin is Chaos, Professor Pipes is also going for Chaos again. Looks like the same fleet he took last time. Which I believe they're, yeah, it's all battle cruisers, right? Yeah. So, no idea what kind of fleets Meme Team and Dark Assassin are going to be taking into this. So I've gone for the same again with the Hammers, Terrors and Onslaughts. Abilities is taking Tractor Cannon, Stasis Bombs, just in case you need to catch anyone. Obviously Tractor Cannon is just a super useful utility tool for many things. I'm taking obviously the Blood Axe Commando training for stealth, and another bridge. Another bridge is just a great skill for orcs to take if you're going to be shooting focused, because it just allows you to stay in whatever stance you happen need to be, which is in most cases is going to be lock-on stance. Just that your your mega cannons and heavy guns have got a reasonable range of 9k, not a pathetic range of 4.5k. So, since neither of the players in the last match are here, I'm gonna retry the same tactic again, where I'm gonna try and creep up the side of the map and try and get the jump on the enemy. This kind of thing, it seems like it works quite well in 2v2, because generally 2v2 fleets will have less escorts. Although it certainly wasn't the case with Solaire's fleet in the last game. But in general, people are less likely to take escorts, I find, in 2v2 games, or as many escorts anyway. So the stealth approach can often kind of work out a bit better for you. And then if it does come down to points, it's nice to have all those escorts in your own pocket just to run around and capture points. Since it's the only thing that you've really got that's got any speed as an orc player. I suppose the light cruisers, just as fast as these ones. But orc light cruisers are trash, so we won't ever be taking them. Except when we do. So, just creeping up the map.
You have seized a strategic area.
So, I still haven't been spotted yet. And Mars? All Mars? All Mars, okay, so it's all Nova cannons. Which is, I mean, it's okay for my teammate. He should be able to dodge them reasonably well. It's not great for me, so I need to make sure that I get the jump on them and I do not get spotted. But at least when the brawl does happen, there's not going to be a bunch of torps going off. Obviously, the Nov cannon isn't nearly so easy to use in a close range engagement as torpedoes are, so that plays into my hands really well. But I just need to make sure that I stay hidden until I'm right up in the enemy's face. And luckily, they're heading directly towards me. So they are starting to exchange fire now with my teammate, so I need to, hopefully he can tank it. Enemy seems to be completely ignoring the capture points on the left hand side of the map, which is good. Oh, caught was quite a nasty Nova volley there. I was hoping the Imperial Navy ships would continue moving south towards the other fleet. And yeah, okay, here they go now. That's good. So ideally what I would like to do is just cut in right behind the Imperial Navy ships. Try and trap them between a stasis bubble and my fleet. It looks like they're stopping again, probably getting ready for another Nova Cannon barrage. I don't really want to get stuck between the Chaos fleet and the Imperial Navy fleet, but it looks like my ally is moving in now. Right, so we've now fired off some boarding actions. Okay, got a bunch of Nova cannons going off. Should be able to avoid those for the most part. Ooh, do caught one with my flagship though. Does unfortunately mean I get caught in the my own stasis bubble, but that's okay. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. This is what I didn't want to happen. Is now getting sandwiched between the two enemy fleets, and that means I can take rear fire, which is not what I want to happen. You can see a couple of red engine crits going off, so it looks like they are definitely targeting my engines. And there goes a mutiny on the flagship, which I am guessing there must have been a the Calexis gone off to get him down so quickly. Although I suppose he did eat the Nova cannon on the way in, which would have given quite a big morale hit. So just missed there. I was trying to tractor that ship into the Chaos ship nearby, but I missed, unfortunately. So the entire Chaos fleet has gone on to brace for impact. He's probably anticipating that I would be ramming him, but I'm not really interested in doing that. I just want to try and use the guns as much as possible and preserve my morale, such as it is. So I took another Nova hit there, but I still managed to get the ram off, and then I was just able to execute to get him back straight after, so that's good. And just keep firing off the boarding actions. I think I just lost my flagship. Oh, still got a good 2 hammers in the tether to continue wailing on the enemy. So we've got a mutiny on the Chaos flagship now. Good. He gets hit with that friendly fire there from the from one of the Nova cannons. Yeah, that was a pretty questionable shot. I mean, like, maybe, okay, firing off a Nova cannon that would hit one of your teammates' ships normally is a bit dodgy, but to do it to the flagship and then cause that morale hit to all the surrounding Chaos ships doesn't seem like the best move, for sure. So we've got one sneaky little bugger who's trying to hide out down here, so we're just going to go and go after him with a little hunting pack of onslaughts here. He's firing at them just now, but he will be coming around and presenting his rear armour pretty soon. I think he's just on like some kind of orbital stance. Yeah, he's basically just like on an attack move on targeting to the side, so he'll just be moving around in a big circle. which means I will get his ass soon enough. Once I start getting that 50 rear armor, then it should start doing some serious damage. Hopefully get some crits. There we go. Got it now. Did have the deck targeted. That's perfect. Now he's on red. So he's on red decks. I think he just popped his repair by the look of it, and then immediately caught fire again. So his he's definitely going bye bye. That's good. There's another mutiny popped. There we go. 2 of them. I believe that just leaves this guy. Oops.
Hit the red button.
And combined firepower of the my teammate's flagship, and wow, a completely healthy ship coming up down here. That's amazing. Don't know how you managed to wangle that in that big knife fight. No, so that's not a battle cruiser. That's a grand cruiser that my my teammate was taking there. Okay, doke. One more game for you guys. Looks like I've got Professor Pipes again. We're not teamed up or anything. I was just getting Professor Pipes every time. It was my teammate for some reason. Once again, we're up against Dark Assassin and the meme team. So we've got the same fleet again, just with the hammers, terrors, and onslaughts. Again, we're going to be taking the commander training just for the stealthy approach. This time though, Professor Pipes is swapped over to double barge Astartes. So I think he's just got the 2 barges, and does he even have an escort? Is it just literally 2 barges? Is that all you can fit? I guess so. So I'm just going to spread my ships out a little bit more, because I'm anticipating that Meme Team is taking a Nova fleet again. So just in case he does, I don't want my ships to be clustered together like they were when I was trying to sneak up the edge of the map. This time I'm just going to make more of a straight line towards the left of that cluster of 3 points in the middle of the map. My ally, I'm pretty sure it's got the torpedo variants of the battle barge, so hopefully you can put those to good use over the course of the game. And escorts, they can just run around and, like I say, capture any far-flung points, go around the back cab, and possibly add a bit of firepower to the to our fleet if needed as well. So my ally's just hanging fire in the gas cloud for now. It's probably a good move, just means you can avoid any long range fire that'll be coming in from the Chaos ships until I'm in position.
Enemy ship sighted. Enemy ship sighted.
Okay, get the spots off. So we got repulsive, desolator, another repulsive, and let's get another desolator.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
So it looks like just 4 ships that I can see for the Imperial Navy fleet. So I'm not totally sure what he's taken.
Box is best.
Okay, my teammate has moved out from the gas cloud now.
Hey, boss.
Just starting to make his way towards the enemy fleet. I was going to skirt around the capture point on the left and coming from behind. But it's not Nova Cannons anyway. It's just it's a bunch of Avengers. It looks like. So that's good. So we're just going to move in. Avengers are brawlier for sure. So that's going to present its own challenges. It's not an ideal situation for my teammates.
We's ready.
Because yeah, between them, these ships have got a hell of a lot more firepower than the battle barges do. The battle barges really can rely on getting those boarding actions off.
You ain't the boss, mate. An escort ship with bad boss.
Through various means, whether it's the torps, but he's yeah, he's just sending in unprotected waves of strike craft, which is obviously not going to work against a clustered up fleet like this. So that's a bit of a shame.
Stop shooting.
Although they're not Avengers, what are they? It's the bunch of like, looks like it was plasma batteries they were firing. Again, the boarding torpedoes with no
You have seized a strategic area.
no fighter screen, and he's just rammed into himself, taking a huge amount of damage on. I don't know what's going on with those two barges. Okay, well let's join in. So didn't quite get the slam, and yeah, wasn't able to pull him back far enough so that it gets stuck in the bubble either. That's a bummer. That's the problem when you try to use the tractor cannon. It's very much kind of law of diminishing returns when it comes to using it on larger ships. So up to a battle cruiser, it's quite effective, but then once you get to the ground cruiser and battleship size ships, it doesn't move them by a huge amount, so it can be quite tricky to get slams off. If you get a slam off, it'll be at low speed, so it'll do less damage, and then it's also you move them a shorter distance, so it's more difficult to time when to fire off the tractor cannon to trap them in the stasis bubble like I was doing there. But we get a nice wee tractor ram off on the ships here. Unfortunately, all the strike craft got shot down. I'm kind of surprised that they managed to tear through the fighters. Fighter screen. But yeah, it looks like my ally is pretty much dead already.
The enemy has accumulated 25% of strategic points.
So, kind of faced with the choice of being shot in the back by the Imperial Navy fleet or the Chaos fleet. So I figured I've got a better chance of breaking the Chaos fleet than the Imperial Navy. So if I can get those taken out first, I could then maybe go and focus on the Imperial Navy ships. If my own ships can survive long enough to do that.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Okay, so we're getting a few nice boarding actions off there. So that's 12, which will be enough to get him down into sort of probably mid-yellow crew. So I noticed that the enemy, the Space Marine, the Imperial Navy flagship, is not looking too healthy. So I thought I could maybe try and get him taken out. He is also on red decks, so if I can break him, then hopefully he won't be coming back unless he has a rally available. The Chaos flagship is hulked, so the battle barges did manage to do sufficient boarding damage to him. to effectively take him out of action. But I am now down to 2 of my ships. It looks like 2 terrors that I'm left with.
We stopped the enemy ship!
The enemy has accumulated 50%
Let's
of
continue to chip
strategic
away. Now the terrors, they do still have frontal mounted mega cannons, but they are lacking some frontal guns, artillery, and also the I believe also lacking the yeah, no, it's just the frontal guns. Artillery. They do still have side mounted heavy guns batteries. Oh man, that flagship is so low on morale and health. Well, I know how to get rid of it one way or another. Boop.
You have accumulated 25% of strategic points.
But yeah, it's a bit too little too late. We're now facing off against 3, 4, 5, 6 enemy ships. So yeah. Huh, actually caught some rare chaos torpedoes there. But there goes the mutiny. I think it's time to peace out with my remaining escort. So that was a fun little series of games there. It'd be nice to get back into 2v2. I never did play a whole lot of 2v2, even back when it was still a thing. Just played the odd game to well, do a bit of stream sniping, to be honest. Oh well, thanks for watching guys, I'll see you in the next one.